Even though when it comes to self-love and just overall confidence, it does take that extra healing and inner work, that doesn't mean that we can't practice small habits every single day that will get us to that higher version of ourselves in half the time. Hi, my name is Anissa. If you're new here, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys 5 macro habits that will help boost your confidence and self-esteem. Without further ado, let's get right into today's video. The first macro habit that you're going to implement when it comes to building your confidence is to reprogram your negative thinking. When I first started my self-love journey, that was the first thing that I really wanted to work on, was reprogramming my mind and rewiring my mind to really only think of positive talk, because I had a lot of negative self-talk in the past, and I feel like that was really hurting myself and not really helping me get to that level that I wanted to be at. Some examples that I used to do would be like poking fun at myself. There's nothing wrong with like laughing at yourself. There's a difference between laughing at yourself and just tearing yourself down. If I made like a stupid mistake, instead of saying that I'm stupid or I'm dumb or I'm this or that, I would say that was a silly mistake, that was a stupid mistake, that was, X, Y, and Z. Like pretty much shifting the negativity onto that thing versus myself, instead of claiming that over my life. Like, no, I'm not all those things, so I'm not gonna claim that over my life. Even as a joke, like I feel like a lot of people, especially my friend, they will make a stupid mistake and they're so quick to say, I'm so dumb, I'm so this. And I'm like, don't say that of yourself. The subconscious mind is so powerful, and I feel like just words in general are just so powerful. So I think we should just be mindful of what we are speaking over ourselves, whether it's a joke or not, because our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference, right? So it's like, you can think that you're just playing around with yourself and you're just joking around, it's not that serious, but really you're training your subconscious to really take in those negative comments and make it a part of your identity. But when it comes to building your confidence, it's so important to check that negative thinking. What you speak is what you're going to believe internally. And I remember when I first started doing this, I turned it into a little game. Like I was telling myself, okay, like how long can I go without speaking negatively about myself, and go from there. So the first day I started doing it, it would be like, okay, I went 1 whole hour without tearing myself down. Then it would be like 24 hours. Then it would be the next week and the next month. And over time, I pretty much built this muscle to where the positive thinking took over the negative thinking. And also when I did this, whenever I had a negative thought, I would immediately replace it in my mind with a positive one. So if I had made a stupid mistake and I was like, oh, I'm so stupid, I would immediately be like, no, like you're smart, you went to college, look, you got your degree. Like pretty much bringing up examples that are kind of like my proof to prove myself that like, no, you're not this, that, the other. You are smart, you're capable. And I would pretty much practice that time and time over again to where I truly started to believe it, to where now negative thinking, like it feels so unnatural for me to even like say anything negative about myself, because I've done such a good job of building that habit of only speaking positive things about myself. Or even just like, this sounds very corny, but even I would apologize to myself too. Whenever a negative thought would come up and I'll say something that was negative about myself, oh, like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it, I take it back, like I didn't mean to call you dumb. And I know it sounds so stupid, like you're like, you talk to yourself like that? And it's like, yeah, I talk to myself like that. So I just apologize to myself and then reaffirm myself with a positive thought. And I feel like over time, like I said, it really helped build that muscle of just choosing the more positive affirmation, choosing the less self-deprecating thought. And over time, I feel like my subconscious was reprogrammed and rewired to only seek out the positive. That's definitely very helpful when it comes to starting out your self-love journey. It just really helps build that confidence. Another example that I kind of want to touch on is also changing your perspective. If you're someone who has body image issues, I know for myself, what helped me is changing my perspective on my body. So instead of saying like, I'm too skinny, I'm too fat, or I'm too this, I'm too that, or whatever, changing the perspective of, okay, my body does so much for me. I'm so grateful to be able-bodied. I'm so grateful that I have legs to walk on and it takes me places. I'm so grateful that I have 2 hands that work and allows me to cook. It allows me to do my hair. It allows me to drive. It allows me to do all these different things. The skin that I have is like a barrier for me. It protects my internal organs. It sounds so silly, but it's really reframing your perspective and seeing what your body does for you versus just how your body looks, I think would be very helpful, because at the end of the day, like our bodies are here to protect us and work for us. Like, when you're sick, your body is fighting for you. It's fighting off diseases for you. Seeing your body as your best friend is going to be what's really helpful, because you're going to see your body as like your partner. It's supposed to help you stay alive, and it's literally helping you stay alive in this moment. I know body image is something that's really hard to overcome, but I think changing your perspective of what your body does for you instead of how it looks is really going to also help you overcome certain insecurities as well too. It's just changing your perspective on it and seeing the positive and the negative. Okay, the next habit to implement to help boost your confidence and self-esteem is to have subliminal affirmations around you. So this can be having, a vision board near your workspace or near you so you can see it every single day that has, affirmations on it, that has quotes on it. Like I know for me, like when I first started doing affirmations and I would read it every single day, it came to a point where it started to feel like a chore almost, just reading it every single day. So I think having affirmations all around you that's gonna like feed you subliminal messages is what's gonna like help rewire your brain as well too, to increase your confidence and your self-esteem. It can be something simple as like having your wallpaper quotes like reaffirming you are enough, you are capable, having your wallpaper on your laptop, having affirmations on your bathroom mirror. So whenever you wake up in the morning, brushing your teeth or you're doing your hair, and you're gonna constantly reaffirm to yourself of the affirmation that you just read of like, oh, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are, X, Y, and Z. I have affirmations in both of my bathrooms, and in my guest bathroom, like whenever I have guests over, they're like, oh, I love your affirmations on your bathroom. It really helped me this morning. Something as small as having your affirmations on your bathroom mirror is very, very helpful. And it's going to really rewire your brain to reassure you and reaffirm you as well too. This also goes hand in hand when it comes to what you're consuming as far as media goes. If you're consuming a lot of media that's very toxic and negative, you're inevitably going to feel very low as well too. So changing your For You page to pour back into you, to where you're constantly getting reaffirmed through different videos that are pushing you to be your best self, that are inspiring you, that are motivating you. Once you really unlock that, you're going to constantly be reaffirmed without even having to really think about it. It's in the music that you listen to, it's in the movies that you watch, it's in the books that you read. Like really pay attention to what you're consuming as far as media goes, because it can definitely just change your mood and your self-esteem depending on like where you are in your life. Obviously media affects us in different ways, but I feel like when it comes to growing your confidence, it will be so much easier just to have content that is uplifting you versus tearing you down or portraying, a stereotype or portraying something that you don't really align with. Subliminally reaffirm you in a sense that you don't have to like work hard to read a whole affirmations list, but you're going to constantly getting affirmations in these different mediums. The next habit that you're going to do to increase your confidence is to keep your word. If you guys watch my Books That Changed My Life video, but in there I talked about the 4 agreements and how the book was definitely life-changing for me. But one of the agreements is to be impeccable with your word. And when you are someone who keeps your word, you build that trust with yourself to know that when you seek out something and you say that you're going to do something, that you actually do it. It can be something small as like, you know what, I'm going to go to the gym today. And say if it's your first time working out and you're not really comfortable working out, but even you just walking to the gym and walking back home and doing nothing, that's enough, honestly. Like that's enough in my book. You said that you were going to go to the gym and you did. Maybe next time you can promise to yourself to actually work out when I go to the gym. So that's something different as well too. But I think just building trust with yourself every single day to where you follow up with yourself and you show up for yourself in different mediums is really going to actually build trust within yourself and overall build your confidence as well too. It just helps you build that confidence to know that you're going to advocate for yourself when necessary, and it's really refreshing to know that no matter what, you're going to have your own back. And I feel like when you carry yourself in that certain way, it just definitely just changes how you view yourself and how you carry yourself, and just helps you give you that confidence as well too. Over time, it's going to really, like I said, reprogram your mind to believe that, whatever I put my mind to, whatever I say that I'm going to do, I actually follow up and I actually do that thing. And it just gives you that extra confidence and that reassurance of like, okay, I've done this before, I've done it a million times. That muscle of being there for myself and being impeccable with my word and following through. So even though I'm being impeccable with small things in my life, now I can be impeccable with my word for big things in my life. Now I can actually have the confidence to go after my goals more and to go after my dreams, essentially. The next habit that's going to help you build your confidence is to treat yourself like you would treat a friend. So this kind of goes hand in hand again with the negative self-talk. I feel like when you reframe the perspective of how would my friend treat me, or how would I treat my friend in a sense. If you made a stupid mistake, like would your friend belittle you and talk crap about you and make you feel small? Like if they do, get you some new friends, or vice versa. If your friend messed up and did something wrong, how would you correct them? Like would you make them feel small and judge them and go off on them? You really want to see from perspective of like, okay, if my friend's going through it, I'm going to treat this person with respect, I'm going to treat them with grace, and I'm going to let them know that it's okay, like things happen, and I'm going to be there for them. So why is it that we give our friends more grace than we give ourselves? Changing your perspective to see that as soon as you have a negative thought, or as soon as you want to treat yourself badly, it's like, okay, I would never treat my friend this way, so why is it okay that I treat myself this way? I should be just as important. Good treatment should go hand in hand with how I'm treating myself and also how I treat others. It shouldn't be just either or, right? So another thing would be keeping a picture of yourself and being in a bathroom of you when you were a child. So it's imagining that you're saying those negative words to that 9-year-old version of yourself. That version of you that was so innocent and didn't know any better. It's the same person. That person is you. So how would you talk to that younger version of yourself? Would you tear that person down? Would you be mean to them? Just keeping in mind of how you're talking to yourself and the position of just being graceful and treating yourself with kindness and treating yourself with respect the way you would treat any other child, any other friend, but just also just keeping that in mind. You deserve that same respect as well too. Whenever you have a thought that you want to talk about yourself, immediately switch it to, okay, like how would my friend treat me? Or how would I treat my friend? And then give yourself that same treatment. Okay, the last thing that you're gonna do that's gonna help you build your confidence and your self-esteem is to get out of your comfort zone. So this kind of relates to when it comes to exposure therapy. So putting yourself in situations to where it scares you at first. Once you overcome that fear, you feel so much more better and you feel so much more confident after you completed that. What can you do every single week, every single month, or just maybe once a year? Like whatever works for you, that's gonna help you get out of your comfort zone and that challenges you because real growth happens when you're comfortable. It doesn't have to be super scary. If that works for you, then that works for you. It can be something small. Like start off small. If you're scared to go on a solo date, go to the movies where you're not really gonna see anybody and it's easier for you to not be perceived and be in a place that's easier for you to be around. If your fear is to, lead a group meeting on a Zoom, maybe just volunteer and just say to your manager, I would like to speak during today's meeting or whatever. And I promise you, you're gonna feel so much better after the fact once you get that fear because you're gonna keep gaining that confidence to go after more things and bigger things in your life. That is really going to help you become to that higher version of yourself. And once you actually do that fear, you're going to realize like, wow, that wasn't even that terrifying, You're going to say things like, oh, I'm so proud of myself for speaking up in today's meeting, even though I was terrified too. Or, oh my gosh, I was so scared to go to the gym and I still did it. Spark a conversation with a stranger and I did it. And after the fact, once it's done, you're going to feel so much more proud of yourself and accomplished. Okay, like what else can I do? You're going to push yourself to do more and more things. That's uncomfortable, but on the other end of comfortability is growth and success. So yeah, just consistently do things out of your comfort zone is gonna inevitably help you build your confidence and also grow your self-esteem as well too. That is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below any other topics you guys want me to talk about. Definitely check out my self-love and personal development playlist where you find other videos about productivity, becoming our best selves, overall just self-love and self-growth. But yeah, thank you again so much for watching and I'll see you guys for another video next week. Bye.